Anger is not the problem. Losing control is the problem. I didn't know what to talk about on today's podcast. All I know is I spent a whole bunch of time setting up my new set here. I've been looking forward to doing this show, just to talking a little bit with you. It's Saturday, and I've got 12 minutes. I'm rushing out the door to get down here to our cabin where my new studio is. I don't have time to create an outline. I don't have time to put together what I want to talk about. And all of a sudden, my wife is calling, hey, can you do this and this? And I was like, okay, now I've got, 11 minutes to go. Go out the door and you realize, oh, I forgot my boots because I'm going to a country dance tonight. Run back and get those. You get in the car, you realize you leave the driveway, you realize you forgot something. I need to pick up groceries at Walmart today. I've been gone all week. I'm already tired. We all deal with this kind of stuff. Then you back up, and the stupid little 7-pound dog that we have runs behind my tires. My wife screams at me to stop, and I slam on the brakes just in time to save the life of the little mutt. You know what I mean? Sometimes things just stack up to make you so angry. People talk about anger as though it's always a negative, bad, evil thing. I'm not a psychologist. Maybe it is, okay? Maybe the fact that I'm angry right now, that my blood's boiling, I know my heart rate is up, I know my blood pressure is up, maybe all this is an unhealthy, bad thing. But I don't think so. If it is, I don't know how to make it go away, like how to not be angry. I want to suggest to you my theory. Again, I'm not a psychologist, but here's my theory. You see anger in nature, not just in human beings, which makes me question, well, does that mean that it's a part of our fallen nature? Is it a sin? Is it wrong to be angry? Perhaps anger is not as big of a problem as what we do with the anger. Anger is not evil in itself. God gets angry. We know this. God gets angry. We see it in the Bible. The best of us get angry. Losing control is where we cross the line. Losing control is evil. Losing control is the process and actions of a fool. And I lose control sometimes. I know everybody does. I was a little bit tempted to step on the gas when that stupid dog got behind my tires. Just get rid of this stupid thing. Okay, I've got a dog that I love and a dog that I don't like, and I'm talking about the dog that I don't like right now. But, I didn't. Control yourself, hit the brakes, get rid of the dog, put it in a safe place, then you can leave and go to do the thing that you're trying to do, right? People think that anger is just bad. It's just bad, and it's not. Anger is a natural response. It can be a moral response. It can be a protective response, right? Our anger is something that protects the good at times. You should have felt anger when you saw Charlie Kirk assassinated by the left. What destroys marriages, what destroys relationships, what blows the lid off of things, where you lose your job, where you lose your credibility, is not because you become angry. It's because you lose control. So why do we lose control? Why do we lose control when we become angry? I suppose you can lose control with other emotions too, right? But if you're overjoyed and you just can't control yourself from laughing and shouting for joy or singing, these are not things that are going to be damaging to you or to people around you. Probably. If you erupt in that way at a funeral, that's going to be a problem. But in general, anger is kind of that emotion that if we lose control, things can go bad in a really fast, quick way. So why do we lose it? Well, we lose control if you give in to your anger. Give in to your anger, right? If you give in to your anger, all of a sudden your mind's not working the same way as it should. You're bypassing the thinking part of your brain. You're going right to that kind of animalistic reaction sort of sort of part of your brain. Your pride, your ego, wants to defend itself immediately. Immediately. Your pride and your ego wants to defend itself. If you have been offended and you're saying to yourself, how dare that person do that to me? How dare that dog get in my way? I have a right here. I have a right to get out of my driveway without being slowed down by that stupid little dog, right? Okay, she's not that bad. She just is on my nerves right now. I think sometimes we treat that first impulse of anger the wrong way. We treat it like it's a command. We treat it like it's controlling us. Instead of treating it like it is, it's a signal. It's a signal that something is happening to you or in your environment that needs to be dealt with. That's what it is. And if we treat anger like a signal, okay, I'm getting a signal, I need to deal with something. First and foremost, I need to deal with myself. Hold it back, control yourself. You know, there's this whole line of thinking in our culture that drives me nuts. And it says, let it all out. You've got to let out your anger. And you know, if you don't let out your anger, then you'll explode. I don't know. There's probably 10,000 psychologists that will confirm that, but it's not been my experience. My experience has been when I become angry, that is the time to control it. And if it means stuffing it, then you stuff it. You control your anger. You treat it as a signal to deal with your issues. And your number one issue when you become angry is you. That's your number one issue. Get a hold of yourself. You know, throw a lasso around that human being that you are and pull that rope tight. You know, you want to react, but don't. Anger is not the enemy. Losing control is. Anger is not what destroys relationships. Losing control destroys relationships. Your anger is controllable. Your anger is a signal. Your body is telling you you've got something urgent to deal with. It's a seriously stressful thing. Even if it's not a huge thing, it's telling you it's a seriously stressful thing and you need to deal with it. Self-control is what happens between that signal and your response. Sometimes self-control looks like, excuse me, I got to walk away from this conversation. I want to continue it with you, but I'm too angry right now. That's not a weak response. That's a controlled response. That's a response coming from strength. Sometimes control looks like, all right, I'm not going to push the gas. I've got the vehicle in park. The stupid dog is under my wheel. I'm going to count to 10. Give my brain, engage the thinking part of my brain. I'm feeling angry right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm not going to kill the dog. These hands can gently pick it up, carry it to a safe place, put it in that place, and then I can leave the driveway. You know, anger can also be a signal that something needs to be dealt with. And oftentimes, it doesn't need to be dealt with right now. But if your spouse, every time she says something, it just sets you off. And she knows it sets you off, and there's this thing. Well, the time to deal with that and discuss it is not right now when she says it and you're feeling angry. The time to do it is when you're in a good place. You guys are out on a date. You have some time to talk about you, about her, about your relationship, about what's working well, what's not working well in your marriage. That's the time to bring it up in a calm, collected way. You haven't been just eager and excited for that date so that you can nail home the point of how, of how terrible she is. No, none of that. You need to be in a mindset of, I want our marriage to be better. I want our relationship to work. And I want to get to the bottom of this. And by the way, I know that some of it is me. Have the discussion in a calm way. Have the discussion, honey, I've noticed something about myself, and I feel like it is damaging to our marriage. I want to discuss it with you. And it's not going to be an easy discussion. I don't want to say this to try to set you off. I don't want to say this to try to start a fight. I want to say this so that together, maybe we can figure out a different way to deal with this. I've noticed that every time you say XYZ, it just sets me off. And I don't really know why it does. Why do you think it does? I want to talk about it. You know me better than anybody. Why do you think it sets me off? I'm sure you've noticed that it does. Okay, yeah. Get to the bottom of it. Why? Well, geez, it's connected. That statement of hers is connected to this and that and this and that. Okay. Honey, next time you're wanting me to, you're needing to express XYZ, can you put it in these words? Can you put it in this term? Because all I am is a man. I know I've got weakness, and here's one weak point of mine is I can't hear you putting the statement in that way without it setting me off. Can you please put it this way instead next time? Thank you. I love you. Let's go on with our date. You will be amazed if you just slow the response. Just slow it down. Just slow it down. Anger is the signal you're going to have a response. What happens between those two, that's called self-control. Stretch it out. Stretch out the response. Make the response time longer. That's, I think, the first step in self-control. I think you can do that. And if you found something that's beneficial to you in this monologue of mine, then please like and subscribe down below. It really helps me out in this channel if you subscribe and if you give it a thumbs up. Have a fantastic day. God bless.